Now this is what we're going to be looking at over the 45 minutes. We're going to start with how to assess an authentic video. That's when either you're students or you suddenly see a video and you think, wow, I'd really like to use that video in class, but how on earth am I going to use it? Then also, if you're teaching a lesson from a course book that doesn't have a video and you think, oh, it'd be really nice to include a video here, how you can go about doing that. Then making the most of ELT videos, and finally using homemade videos. So the first part, how to assess an authentic video. And before we start on that, I'd like to ask you a question. What do all these things have in common? Any ideas?
They're all in the 1990s.
News related?
Headlines.
Headlines? Anything more specific? Yes? No? Okay, here's the answer. They all happened in 2005. Which, when you think about it, it's only 10 years ago. It's hardly any time at all. And it was funny, when I was compiling that list, I was thinking, it's interesting how I associate all those stories with visuals, with images from newspapers and magazines, or with videos as well. And something else happened in 2005 that was going to change video forever. Here's a clue. Does anyone know the answer? YouTube. That's right. The very first YouTube video was uploaded to the site by one of the co-founders on the 23rd of April 2005, which is 10 years ago. And it's amazing to think what's happened since then. Now here's the video. It shows the co-founder, where is he? Okay, what do you think the video is about? A visit to the zoo? Yeah, okay. You think he's going to explain how to use YouTube?
No, not explain, but just an example.
Okay, an example of YouTube video. Okay, let's watch it. I hope we can hear it too.
Alright, so here we are on the elephants. Coping with these guys, it's that they have this really, really, really long trunks. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
I think that video is really interesting because it's bizarrely prophetic. Because if you think about it, how long does it last? 19 seconds. And you think back in 2005, we were watching TV shows that lasted 30 minutes or an hour. We weren't watching videos that were so short, just 19 seconds. And yet today, most videos we watch are really short and last that kind of length of time. The other thing is that it's really ordinary. There's nothing special about this video at all. It's just a guy talking to camera, saying nothing particularly interesting, which again is pretty much what most YouTube videos are today. It's also interesting because it's incredibly popular. If you look there, it's had over 18 million views, and there are a lot of likes. And there are about 120,000 comments, I think, for that video. Presumably because it was the first ever video, and most of those comments are probably very banal. But another thing that's interesting about this video is that it's a really good example of how we could exploit videos in the classroom. Because you think, well, this doesn't really offer much to be used in the classroom. So I want to set you this challenge, sort of the first challenge of the day, which is to think, how could you use that video in class with your students? So I'm going to show you the video one more time with a transcript. And in your groups, if you could just discuss different options and then choose the most interesting original idea that you come up with. Okay, here's the transcript and I'll play the video now.
Alright, so here we are on the elephants. Coping with these guys is that they have this really long trunks, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
Okay, just 2-3 minutes, have a little discussion, think what you would do with that video with your students in class. Would anyone care to share their ideas? You obviously wouldn't. Anybody got any ideas?
What happened next? This is the start of a major incident. What happened next?
Okay, that's nice, yeah. Did you all hear that? Oh yeah, so what happens next? This is the start of a major incident. So what major incident is going to happen after this?
Play the video without sound and get the students to imagine what he might be saying in this video where he's pointing at elephants and for 19 seconds, and then compare what they wrote with what he actually said.
Yeah, that would be good, playing without sound. Goodness ridiculous.
A parody?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Something really...
A parody.
Something really, like, this is a door. The really cool thing about a door is it opens really wide.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
You could have children making their own videos. videos?
Yeah, the kids could make their own videos.
Instead of what do you think is going to happen next, what would you like to happen?
Dangerous. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, yes? Right. Get students to go onto YouTube and comment on the video.
And comment on the comment.
And comment on the comments. Or comment on the comments and comments. Yeah, they're all really good ideas. When I was preparing this workshop, I thought it'd be really good to just get together a really simple checklist of all the ways that you could possibly use a video like this. And I came up with these 5 headings: learn, look, listen, read and write and react. I'm just going to run through those. You don't actually need to copy anything or make notes, because I've got a download of this, which I'll give you the address at the end of the workshop, where you can download this from. So first of all, learn. We're all language teachers, so is there anything we can actually teach from the video? So these are sort of the subheadings I came up with. Vocabulary, yeah, we could do something on zoo animals. Grammar, probably not a lot we could do there. There is something with pronouns or referring words, but I think that's a bit of a vague link. Functional language, well actually, you know, you're saying, here we are at the zoo. It's quite a useful thing to learn, because so many videos are, here I am, Athens airport or whatever, so that would be a useful thing to focus on. And particularly in this video, authentic language, there's so many hesitations, repetitions, so it's really, it's a really nice thing you could focus on in this video. Look, okay, the classic pair work activity, someone watching, describing what's going on to another student, prediction, which we had. Speculate, you could show a still from the video and get students to speculate what's going to happen. Or yes, predicting the major incident. And memorizing. What colour t-shirt was he wearing? Anyone remember? Yeah, it was blue. It was blue. So you could do that kind of activity. Listening. Are there any sounds in the video that you just listen to without an image first to speculate what's going on with this image, with this video? Not really. Comprehension questions about any information in the video. I think this particular video is pretty devoid of any information, except that elephants have really long trunks. Delivery is interesting. How is he speaking? Is he speaking loudly? How does he feel? Is he trying to be funny? And in this instance, I've read that really he is trying to be funny, talking about the really long trunks. So again, that's something you could focus on. Music and lyrics, because I had to find 4 things for this section, so I added music and lyrics. But you could think about what music could you put under the video if you were going to put a soundtrack to it, which might be fun. Captions, subtitles, transcripts. That video has subtitles, so the students could translate them, or if you're using, or if the subtitles are in L1, then they could translate them into English, or vice versa. And one interesting thing with that video is the transcript is actually different from the captions that come up on the screen. The subtitles don't include all the ums and ahs, which are in the transcript, which is quite an interesting thing to focus on. There might be a reading or writing link in the actual video, which there isn't here. We have the comments, yeah, that was a good one. And scripts. Students could write a script, they could translate it, or they could dub the video, or maybe tweak what he says using the same video, but rewriting the actual script. And finally, discussing, giving opinions. What do you think of that video? Is it any good? make a copy was suggested, or do a role play responding to it was also just suggested, which is a good thing. They could do videos about other animals in the zoo, saying, okay, here I am, in front of the monkey cage. And links to the topic, which is doing basically what we did at the start, which is talking about the history of the last 10 years of video and how much it's changed. Okay, so there you can see on the right, there's the handout, which basically has that checklist, which hopefully will be useful. And there's also a worksheet there, which is about YouTube. It's got a little quiz at the start about YouTube and about that video, and then a reading text, so you could actually use that activity in your class, because the 23rd of April is coming up, so it'll be the actual anniversary. So it might be quite a fun classroom activity to do this. And finally, just in case you think that I'm being sponsored by Google and not Macmillan, other websites are available. And there's also a downloadable handout which has links to lots of useful sites, including teacher training sites as well. Okay, now we get on to the next part, which is integrating authentic video into a course book lesson. And this is what we had to do when we were writing Beyond, because in every unit of Beyond, the opening spread, the opening lesson, has a video in it. And the idea of the video is to try and bring the page to life. And we wanted to include very short videos that would just be an extra step in the class. So it's not really making a big thing of the video. It's just an extra step that the teacher could choose to do or choose to skip, but they could exploit it further if they wanted to. And we used all types of videos: documentaries, vox pops, YouTube-style videos, animations, to try and have as much variety as possible. So I want to put you in our shoes for a moment and show you a spread. This is the last spread of B2 level. It's the very last unit in the book. We're going to look at this spread, and then your next challenge is going to be thinking, what video could I use on this spread, really short video? Where would I put it in the lesson? And what activity would I put on the page? Okay, that's the next challenge. I'll just quickly run through the lesson. It starts with a recall activity where the students remember vocab that they've worked on, in this case flags and languages, countries and languages. Then we've got a message here to the students saying, okay, you've come to the end of the course, you've learned English, how about learning something slightly more different now, something unusual? So they read about these different languages. Dothraki, are any of you familiar with Dothraki? Game of Thrones fans? It's a language that was created for that. And then there's Esperanto, and a Native American language, which I don't know how to pronounce. Does anyone know how to pronounce that? Good. Okay, and then there's some new vocabulary here, phrasal verbs that are all related to languages. And they read this text about a conlanger, who's basically, it's a job of a person who creates new languages, like the person who created the language for Game of Thrones. And in this case, it's about the person who created the language for the Star Trek series, Klingon. And so they read about what it's like to create a language. Then there's an extension activity where they look more at phrasal verbs in detail. And then finally, there's a discussion point where students go to the back of the book and they ask each other questions about their learning experience. So, put yourself in my shoes. Think, where on the spread would you put a video? Where in the lesson? What would the video be? And what would the task on the page be? Okay? Sorry, do you have a...
No.
Well, you know the answer already. If you just take a minute to think of some ideas, and also think about, Okay, it's got to be a video that isn't going to bankrupt the publisher. So you're thinking, an extract from Game of Thrones, that would be good. Yes, no. Okay, so you just have a quick discussion about that in your groups.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I say, if you like to watch the rest, it's all hooked up.
All right, thank you. Any ideas from this section here? Any ideas to share? That would be nice, a video about sign language. Yeah. Predicting. Okay, yes. If it's a language they don't understand, trying to work out what's being said would be nice. Any other ideas? Yes, you were first.
Tolkien's elfish. You could go to one of those meets and interview a person dressed as an elf.
Interview a person dressed as an elf.
Yeah. Just likes to sing.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Context.
Oh yeah, that would also be very nice.
Or have students talk in that language and guess what language they are speaking. Have an orc and an elf. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. They're all really nice ideas. And what we ended up with was this. We put this video there, and the task was watch the video and describe what happens at Chateau Grillon in France every summer. And we'll just watch a little extract from that video.
That was Esperanto, an invented language that is a mix of English, German, Polish, Russian, and French. Families from all over the world get together once a year here in the Loire Valley in France to practice this rare language. Like this father of three.
I speak Esperanto as often as I can with the eldest, the second, and with the youngest. I've never said a word of French. That means that I use Esperanto when we're eating, when I take her to school, but I also use Esperanto when she breaks a finger and we have to go to hospital.
The idea is that Esperanto promotes universal understanding, but that's not always easy. There are more than 500,000 speakers worldwide, but the language remains relatively obscure.
Okay, that's an interesting video. I wanted to show it to you because you can see there's a very basic task on the page, which the students have to do, watch the video and then say what happens at this place. But there's a lot there that the teacher can exploit to get more from that video, if only to discuss whether that man is completely mad or not. This video is also on YouTube, but it has a different narration on YouTube. The quality of it isn't very good. And that kind of brings us neatly to making the most of ELT videos. ELT videos have changed a lot over the last few years, and they obviously have some great advantages. One is they're appropriate for your students. You know, they've been chosen for the age group of your students, and so there's not going to be anything dodgy in them. They're good quality. Like I just mentioned before, we re-recorded the audio track to make sure the quality was good. This is also quite important. And they're ready to use. You don't have to spend hours writing your own worksheets or thinking, oh, where was that handout that Robert gave us with all those ways of using videos? They're ready to use. You've got teaching notes and you go into the class and do them. And I just want to say that if you use presentation kits with whiteboards, then I just think they're the most amazing thing, because every time I've seen classes where teachers have been using whiteboards, there's never a question of, oh, do you use the videos with this course? They always use the videos because they're all there. They can just click on them. They've got easy access. They don't have to worry about DVDs or anything like that. I think they're just wonderful. The other good thing about ELT videos is they provide a good model for students, what they're going to do in class. And when we were preparing beyond the speaking pages in the course, we thought we want to have videos on every speaking page so that students can see just how body language and facial expressions combine with words to express, to give meaning. And so we had videos for every speaking page. And we got drama school kids for each level of the course. And we filmed all of these scenes in a sort of workshop situation in a theatre, because we also wanted to kind of replicate the situation that you're in a classroom, where you've got, you ask your kids to role play scenes. And this gives them a good model of what's expected of them and what they have to do. We'll just watch this scene. It's actually the same scene repeated twice. When you watch it, just think, oh, what's the difference between the first scene and the second scene, and therefore, what is the aim of this speaking page? The boy, by the way, is playing the part of the teacher, and the girl student.
Sophie, what can I do for you?
That presentation, can I do it another day?
When are you down for?
This Thursday?
That's very short notice. Why can't you do it this Thursday?
Haven't had time to prepare.
You've had 3 weeks.
When's Naomi doing hers?
In 2 weeks' time, I think.
Well, I can change with her then.
To be honest, I don't think that's fair. Why should she have to change her plans for you?
Well, can I ask her? We're good friends.
No, I'm sorry. You've had 3 weeks to prepare. I'll be expecting your presentation on Thursday as planned.
Excuse me, sir.
Sophie, what can I do for you?
It's about the presentation. Could I possibly do it another day?
Could you remind me what day it is?
This Thursday, sir.
That's very short notice. Would you mind telling me why you can't do it on Thursday?
I just haven't had time to prepare.
You've had 3 weeks.
No, I'm sorry. I was wondering if I could change with Naomi. Do you know when she's doing hers?
I've got a list. In 2 weeks' time.
Would you mind if I changed with her?
I don't mind. Do you know if Naomi would be happy with the change, though?
Do you mind if I ask her? We're good friends.
No, go ahead. If she says no, we'll be expecting a presentation on Thursday.
Okay, thanks, Sam.
Okay, so what's the difference between the scenes?
The approach, the way she, it's the approach, the way she presents it first, and the second one is more polite, more respectful.
Right,
So
it's much
she
more
was
polite.
over- yeah.
So the focus here is on polite questions, especially indirect ones. And I think that's all I've got to say about that. No, I have something more to say about that. That's just so you see how it appears on the page as well. Again, these videos are optional, so if teachers don't want to use them, they don't have to. But I think they give a really good model for the students. And that brings us neatly to homemade videos. Because as you see in those videos, we hardly used any props or scenery. So it's really easy to make your own videos. If we go back to YouTube, then obviously it's really also easy to create your own YouTube channel. And if you don't have one, you should have one, because then you can subscribe to other channels and collect the videos and upload videos that you want to use, or upload videos of your students, provided that you have the school's permission, the parents' permission, the students' permission, and you've signed all the legal rights away. If you do upload videos, there are obviously different settings to protect privacy. You can have public, where everybody can see your videos, unlisted, where only people who you send the link to can see them, or private, which are private. I know Rob, co-author on Beyond, he uses WhatsApp a lot, and to create like a student group, and then you can send videos to each other to watch videos of students. Say students giving presentations or expressing opinions, sometimes it's very good to get the students to film themselves, because especially students who don't like speaking in class, because they often feel more confident if they're talking to a camera, whereas I feel the opposite. And there are lots of other apps like Instagram, and Michael Harrison was talking this morning about Vine. And these sort of hark back to YouTube and what we were talking about, because these are all for making really, really short videos. And one I'd like to focus on quickly is Snapchat, because this is an app that's used a lot by teenagers at the moment, so in all probability all your students have it already. With Snapchat you can make 10-second videos. Now the great thing about this app is that as soon as somebody watches the videos, they disappear. So you don't have any problems about security or the videos staying online for other people to watch. Once you watch them, they've gone. And there's also an option with this app where you can create a story. So you can put several 10-second videos together, and they last slightly longer. They're online for 24 hours, and you're able to view them multiple times. But again, they disappear. Here's what a Snapchat story might look like. Apart from being able to film yourself or film something else, you can also write captions. So like "That's so long, Singapore" is written there, or you can type them in. So apart from filming, students could also get in a little bit of minimal writing practice at the same time. This is actually from an article in the New York Times, which was quite fun, which was how to become an expert at using this app. And there's a link to that article on the handout as well. And if you're really ambitious, you could get your students to make something slightly longer, like a 15-minute film. And this is, we've included this because it's just down the road from where I live in Barcelona, in Sitges. It's associated with the Sitges Film Festival. And this is for horror films that are all made using phone cameras, phone videos, that are under 15 minutes long. Now, in all probability, your students won't make a wonderful video that can enter the competition. But I think, as with all homemade videos, the thing isn't the end result. It's all about the process of making the video, and that's what should be the most important part of the activity. And so, I want to end with a very short video that I live in Barcelona, and Rob Metcalf, the other co-authors in Barcelona, and Robena, the third co-author, she lives in Denmark. She's not here, unfortunately, but we asked her kids to make a video in response to the YouTube video that we saw earlier on. And so they made a video about their pet dog called Romeo. And they made this video with an iPhone and using the iMovie.
This is our dog, Romeo. Romeo loves to sleep more than anything. He also loves to swim, especially in summer. He loves to play and always wants attention. He likes to drive in the car, take trips to the beach. Finally, he loves to chew. His favorite thing is shoes. Romeo is the best dog ever.
So they put that together in one day. I think it's really nice. It shows what you can do. So that brings us to the end. I want to say thank you, and here's the address for those handouts. I'm not trying to promote myself at all, but you'll find it on my website, robertcampbell.info /downloads. And you can download all those handouts there. I don't know if anybody's got any final points or questions. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming. Thank you.